What's up, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video, and in this one I want to break down what's happening with SPY, Tesla, and the overall market. Just know that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out my Moomoo link. If you deposit $100, you're guaranteed 5 free stocks. Deposit $1,000 and you're guaranteed 30, and the offer ends very soon at the end of March. Anyways, so as far as the market's going, okay, I just want to say that SPY's pushed very nicely as we predicted. We were talking about how there was going to be a melt up likely coming, especially after Apple did well with earnings and a lot of buyers were coming out. However, here's the big thing. Okay, there's tough resistance around this 608 to 610 area. Every time historically SPY hits 608 to 610, it rejected. So we're going to have to be very, very careful up here. Now, at 608, I would warn to be very, very careful, not to mention 610. If we break 610, we're looking for 612 and 615 as our targets. If we can't break past 610, there's going to be a risk of us returning to 608. If that does not hold, I could be looking for like 606 or lower levels. So watch 608. We need to hold this roll so we could be looking for at least a 2 to 3 point dip from there. We'll have to see if we could break 610 to remain bullish, so please be careful and watch this resistance. I hope that's as clear as possible. So yes, we pumped very nicely, but the resistance is still tough near the all-time high between 608 and 610, so be careful as we watch that resistance. On the QQQ, we pumped very, very, very nicely to about 530. We also have 533 and 535 as resistances if we end up breaking 530. If we lose 528, we're looking for a dip back down to like 525 to fill this gap. So notice that we hit this tough resistance and we haven't been able to crack past it. So looking for support at 528, then eventually the gap fill for 525 if we can't hold above 530. So the QQQ could retrace a bit to 528 or below if that does not break past 530. So just be careful. On the Russell 2000, we have 230 as our resistance. We have support at 227.8. We're watching this range right here. If we don't break past 230, we could be dipping back down to like 228. Just keep that in mind. For ES, we pushed very nicely to this imbalance, very close to about 6150, but we haven't been able to hold above it so far. So we'll see if we break past that or not. If we don't break past 6150, we're going to be at risk of returning back down to the low 6100 area. So just be careful as we hit this resistance. For NQ, we have a bullish wedge right here. We came very close to 22,000, but just know that the last time we had 22,000, we saw some consolidation and a rejection. So if we break past 22,000, we're looking for a much bigger push. If we reject here, we could be tipping back down to about 21,800. So watch 22,000 to see if we break it or not. If we can't, I'm looking for a retracement back down to 21,800. For Bitcoin, we have the support to watch for at this yellow trend line. As long as we hold this, we could continue to push for 106,000. If not, we're looking for a dip to 104,000. For Nvidia, we have a very, very nice trend right here. We're actually kind of stuck in the middle. Now, what's good about Nvidia is the fact that we're basing at that 120 to 117 area. We're continuing to show signs of that, and that could lead us to a nice push for next week or within the next couple of weeks to start pushing for 132 and then fill the gap back up towards the 140s. So there could be a nice bounce coming to Nvidia soon, but we'll see if we get a break or not. If we end up losing 120 as support, we're looking for 117. As of right now, it pushed to 127. It's kind of slowing down a bit. So we're going to be watching to see how it reacts to this resistance around the trend line right here. So be very, very careful. For now, it might just continue to consolidate for some time before it starts to break out, but just keep in mind it's doing a good job at holding up. As long as it bases nicely, I do think there's going to be more upside for next week and beyond, so it's doing a great job so far at holding up. For Tesla, we have 418 and then 420 as our resistances. If we break past 420, it's going to look very, very nice. But for now, we're just watching to see can we hold 414. If that fails us, we're looking for 410 and eventually 405. 414 is the main level for now. Let's see if Tesla can hold that support. As long as it's above that, it remains bullish. We're also breaking past this yellow trend line of resistance, the one that caused Tesla to reject many, many times historically. So if you look at this trend, excuse me, if you look at this, we rejected, and this time we're trying to break out. Very good sign for Tesla. As long as we're above 414, I could be looking for the 420s next week. It's looking a lot more bullish to me. On top of this, we also have Aapl. Aapl pumped, then dipped a little bit. However, don't worry. As long as we're above 234, Aapl remains bullish. If we lose 234, we could turn back down, but the inverse head and shoulders setup remains. So it's doing a good job, at least thus far. Whoops, sorry, I kind of messed up down there. But for now, as long as we're above this support, we're going to be completely fine. I think there's a good chance that this is going to try to pan out. So watch and see if we can make higher lows. As long as we don't end up losing 234, we remain bullish, and the uptrend could continue. For others out there, we have Coin. Coin is at 302. We could continue to push higher as long as we don't lose 292. So watch supports at 300 and then 292. If those fails, we turn back down. For now, I'm looking for an attempt to shuffle at 300, maybe push a little bit higher if that holds. Amazon's looking more bullish as long as you don't lose 235. We favor 240. Meta is just going to shuffle at 700 for now. We'll have to see if you hold above it. If not, we could be returning back down to about 685. Microsoft is trying to hold support right here at this 412 area. It's looking a little bit lackluster right now, so it might be retesting like 415 or below, but then we could be bouncing. So watch and see if that ends up being the case. I would love to see if we rebound or not. Google's looking bullish. We have 206 as our potential target, and we'll see if this continues to pump. So overall, I think it's doing a fantastic job. With that being said, guys, I think Google looks very bullish. As long as we don't lose 202, we could be favoring to 210 very soon. The market is starting to slow, though, so just be careful with that. I'm just saying to watch resistance and see if SPY could break 610 or not. If we don't, this is going to be at risk of returning to 608, and eventually it's going to pivot back down to like 606 or below. So keep that in mind, guys. We'll see if SPY gets a rejection, if it could hold 608 or not. I'll be very, very patient nonetheless. I'll see you guys again in a couple of hours, and peace out.